We've come too far. We've come too far to give up. We've come too far to get lazy. We've come too far to quit. We've come too far to stop believing. We've come too far to lose hope. We've come too far to forget how far we have come. What I want to talk to you about today is this. Unfortunately, a lot of times, as we're moving through life, as we're growing, as we're achieving things, we start to forget our younger self would be so proud of us today. I was journaling last night, and for those who don't know, at the end of this month, I have this big event I'm doing. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but at the end of the month, I'm taking a flight to Michigan. And while I'm there, I'm going to be doing some stuff. It's going to be great. And I start thinking, like, this is such a big thing. This is such a big achievement for me. But last month, I did a presentation for the National Association of Mental Illness. That is a big deal. Yet, I thought it happened months and months and months ago, but it was literally last month. And then a month before that, I did a big event. And then a month before that, I went out to do a conference in the Poconos. And I forgot how far I've come in such a short span of time. And this isn't all about me. This is about the fact that we all do this at some point or another. Maybe you're a parent and you somehow forgot that your younger self would be so amazed by what you're doing now, amazed by how you overcame adversity, amazed by how you were able to overcome that childhood trauma, amazed by all the incredible things that you have done in such a short span of time. Because my average viewer is between 18 and 25. That's young. But even at that young of an age, you have done something. You graduated high school, you made it to college, you started a business, you had a kid, whatever it is, you have done something great in your life. Yeah, we forget. We lose sight of ourselves. We look at everybody else and all their greatness. We look at everybody else and the blessing that they have. We look at everybody else and all the things that they're achieving. Yet when it's time for us to look at ourselves, we just, little old me, little old Lawrence. Little old Lawrence has an office. Little old Lawrence is a motivational speaker. Little old Lawrence gets paid to share his heart and soul with the world. Little old Lawrence is an author. I'm writing another book actually. It's gonna be amazing when I finish this thing. Little old Lawrence has come so far from little old Lawrence. But when we get stuck in this mindset of thinking that our past defines us, we hold ourselves back from the future. It's like we had these invisible chains saying, no, you can't go there. No, no, you can't be that confident. No, you can't love yourself that much. No, you can't. But we look at other people and we see them succeeding. So it's obviously possible, but our limiting beliefs, our thoughts about ourselves are what keeps us back. Our beliefs about who we are, our beliefs about what we're capable of, our beliefs about ourselves define our life. And that's why on September 6th, I'm going to be doing an event where we're going to be breaking this down, identifying our limiting beliefs, how they impact our life, how to rewire them to have the life that we desire. Because the man who thinks he can't and the man who thinks he can are both right. If you think you can't, you can't. If you think you can, you can. And then you take the actions, you refuse to give up because you're not going to have overnight results most of the time. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be a millionaire. You're not going to wake up tomorrow after one gym session and have a six-pack abs or a tight waist or be at the weight that you desire. It's not happening. But what will happen is if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up, if you realize that you have come too far to quit, you have come too far to give up, you have come too far to lose hope, you have come too far to forget the vision, you have come too far to forget how far you have come. You have come too far to get lazy. You have come too far to get undisciplined. You have come too far to stop doing what it is that has gotten you to where you are. But you also got to remember that what you have done to get here won't necessarily get you to where you want to be. Sometimes you gotta change things. You gotta adapt. You gotta improve. Maybe that means you gotta invest more money into your business. Okay, I've been putting more money into my stuff to upgrade my thumbnails, to upgrade my marketing, to get the click funnels and the mini chat and all that stuff. I've been having to put up money for that. And as an entrepreneur, when it's time for you to put that money up, that's when you really gotta stand on business. Literally. Because when you gotta hit that subscription, when you got to sign that contract, when you got to put that down payment, when you got to get that inventory, when you got to get that equipment, when you got to repair stuff, when you got to handle customer service, and you doing all this, and it's just you, that's a real test of faith. That'll bring you close to God. And what I mean by that is it's real easy for us to go to a church on Sunday and we hooting and hollering and catching the Holy Spirit. But Monday through Saturday, you gotta walk in that same energy. Because prayer isn't just you on your hands and knees and saying, "Oh, dear Father God." No, prayer is how you move. It is how you walk. It is how you talk. It is how you live. It is the way that you conduct yourself. It is having faith in the unseen, being able to walk on water, walking by faith, not by sight. Because when you walk by sight and you walk by what's in that bank account, you're gonna lose hope. You're like, "Oh, my bank account going down. Oh, this." But if you walk by faith, yeah, the numbers might be going down, but that's just a setup for something bigger. The numbers going down because you gotta build that foundation. You got to go underneath before you can go up. The stock market, it goes up, it go down, it go up, it go down, but eventually it goes further up than it goes down. And when you are going through life and you're trying to achieve something, right? You still have to remember how far you came. Like, okay, you might not be making $20,000 a month. You might not be driving a McLaren. You might not be living in a Miami penthouse, but you're alive. You got food in that refrigerator. You have an opportunity. You're taking action. Your YouTube channel might not be at 10,000 subscribers, but you got 500. I'm talking about myself now. Your bank account might not be at this amount that you desire, but you're not in debt no more. You ain't in the red no more. You paid off your student loans. You paid off your debt. You paid off your car note. So that means you're doing better than you were last year. A lot of times we complain about our blessings. A lot of times the thing that we prayed for, after we get it, we start complaining about it. We like, "Dang, man, I only got this Nissan. I only got this Toyota. I only got this Honda." But last year you was praying for the Honda because you had the bike. And the year before that, you was praying for the bike because you had to walk. And the year before that, you was praying to be able to walk because you was in a wheelchair because you had an accident. We need to stop complaining about our blessing. We need to be good stewards. We need to understand that no matter what our situation is right now, if it's better than where we were last year, we're on an upward trajectory. Yeah, I don't got a car, but I got this bike. Yeah, I don't got this bike, but I could walk. Yeah, I can't walk, but I got a wheelchair. And last year I was bedridden. So that means that I'm doing better and better and better and better and better. And what I want you to get from this is remember how far you've come. Understand that as you go through life, you will achieve many things, but you cannot lose sight of your progress. You cannot lose sight of the vision. You cannot forget how far you have come because you have come too far too quick. It's gonna be time when you feel tempted to. It's gonna be time when there are challenges. It's gonna be time when things are difficult. It's gonna be time when the money acting funny. It's gonna be times when you might have to move out. It's gonna be times when you gotta put up that money in that business. It's going to be times when you feel tempted to quit. There's going to be times you feel tempted to give up. There's going to be times when you lose sight. There's going to be times when it's hard. But hard things make strong people. You go to the gym and you lift a heavy weight, and that makes you stronger. If you just lift a 5 pound, that ain't gonna do nothing for you. All you doing is lifting 5 pounds. You got the easy life, but the easy life is not a good life. If your life is always easy, right? Everything is handed to you. The moment an inconvenience comes up, the moment a breakup comes up, the moment an obstacle, an issue, a challenge of the slightest degree comes up, you're going to crumble because you never had to do anything hard. You never had to walk by faith. You never had to overcome anything. You never had to put up any effort. So when challenges arise, the strong survive. When challenges arise, the strong survive. It's really survival of the fittest. Problem is, though, we want it easy. We want it overnight. We want microwavable results. We want to be able to get rich overnight. We want to get rich quick routine. We want to lose 50 pounds by next week. No, put in the effort. And as you put in that effort, you're going to realize that the journey is the reward. The blessing is in the journey. It's not where you get to that matters. It's going there that matters. It's noticing that I'm taking one step after another. I'm getting closer, and I'm just on this journey. And you fall in love with the work rather than the result. You fall in love with doing the labor rather than getting the fruit. Because if you focus on getting the fruit, once you get it, you're going to quit because you're like, oh, I got my goal. But the person who loves to farm, they will always have fruit. They will always have crops. They will always be eaten. They will always have abundance because they're not chasing abundance. They are in love with the process of the sowing. They're in love with the process of the reaping. They're in love with the process of growing something. They're in love with the process of planting something and fertilizing and tilling their soil and pulling the weeds. They're in love with doing it rather than getting it. And remember, you've come too far to give up. Okay? Your corn and your tomatoes and your crops, they're not going to grow overnight. But when they do, and you realize and you look back on it, you're like, man, I remember how fun it was when I planted that seed and I saw it sprout and I was watering it and I was showing up and I was being consistent and I was taking care of my field and I was working and I was doing this. Man, I could look back and I'm happy on that. And you fall in love with doing it. You realize that you can't quit. You realize that there is beauty in doing. There is beauty in the act. There is beauty in the journey of it. And it's not all about what you get. It's about what you become. It's about making that younger you proud. It's about making that older you proud. It's about looking into that mirror, proud of the man or the woman that you have become. It's about looking in that mirror and knowing, I did that. I'm him. I'm her. That's what it's about. You had to understand that your younger self would be so proud of how far you come. Your older self will be so proud of what you are becoming. You cannot forget what you are. You cannot forget your greatness. You cannot forget that you have come too far to quit. You have come too far to lay down and let life stomp all over you. Because it's plenty of time when I felt tempted to just lay down and give up. It's too hard. It's too challenging. It's difficult. It's inconvenient. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. When I saw that contract on, all right, Lawrence, we want a down payment on this. We want the first month rent. We want second month rent. We want this amount every month. And you gotta pay that up. When I saw that, I thought okay, this is a little scary now. This is a little scary. I gotta hit this paperwork. But because I did not let the fear stop me, because I did not let what if stop me, because I didn't allow the fear and the anxiety and the nervousness to stop me, look at how I'm living. Look at how I'm living now. And you could do this too. Because with the faith of a mustard seed, you can look at this mountain in your life and you can say, move, and it will move. All you need is some faith. All you need is to believe. All you need is to believe in yourself, to believe in God, to believe in something higher, to understand that where you have been does not need to define the rest of your life, to understand that when challenges come, the strong survive. Because obstacles are simply there to test you. And when you pass that test, you move to the next level. When you pass that test, you move to the next class. When you pass that test, you move to the next tier. When you pass that test, you move and you grow and you evolve because challenges are what separates winners from the losers, the haves from the have-nots, the doers from the thinkers. Because we all can think about it. We all think day in, day out. Man, I would love to have this. Man, I would love to have a business like that. Man, I would love to have that kind of relationship. Man, I would love to have that kind of body. Man, I would love this. I would love that. But are you working towards it? If you're working towards it, even if you don't have the result right now, if you stick with it, you will eventually have it. And you got to fall in love with the process, not on the product. You have to fall in love with the process, not the product. Because if you fall in love with the product, if you fall in love with the money, if you fall in love with the body, if you fall in love with the person, if you fall in love with the relationship, if you fall in love with this or that or this or that, you're going to burn out because you're like, man, I don't have it yet. It's taking long. It's hard. But the person who is in love with, man, I'm going to the gym today. Man, I'm going to talk to that girl I see who's attractive. Man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to write this book. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm working toward it. And then they show up and they on that laptop writing. They in that gym lifting. They at that park. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're working. They're investing in their business. They reading books on it. They're doing what they need to do. They're going to win. Because they're not in love with the product. They're in love with the process. They're not in love with the fruit. They're in love with the reaping. They're not in love with the crop. They're in love with the process of farming. So, here's what I want you to get from this. Understand that you have come so far. Don't quit. It's about to get real good. You just got to stick with the process. You cannot quit now. You have come too far to give up. You have come too far to quit on yourself, to quit on all your dreams, because there are people who are looking for you. They're looking for your music. They're looking for your clothes. They're looking for your art. They're looking for your speech. They're looking for your YouTube videos. They're looking for you. Don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on that dream. Don't quit on that little kid inside of you. Don't quit on the man or woman that you're becoming. Don't quit on your family. Don't quit on that relationship. Don't quit on you. Have a wonderful, blessed day.